Hey guys, this is Brandon at The Edge Pro. Today we're going to talk about the Andis Pulse Li5, and specifically we're going to talk about the blade here that we have. In the past we've talked about the Pulse Li, or the Pulse Ion, and has a very unique blade system to it, and Andis has gone and simplified it here on this clipper, and so we just wanted to highlight what's going on here with this clipper. The Pulse Ion is going to be phased out by Andis in the relatively near future, and this is going to be their replacement for it for right now that we have been told about. And so just wanted to highlight some things so you know what you were getting into. We have done videos on this clipper before on Facebook and those kinds of things, and overall it's proven to be a pretty good clipper. It's really light. It has good motor strength, good battery strength, lithium-ion battery, and you can also run it with the cord plugged in. So that's a nice feature as well, to be able to keep clipping when your battery is going to start failing you. It's also got the 5-in-1 adjustable blade here, so it goes, see if I can get the camera to focus here. There it is. You have your size 9 to 40, your animal grooming sizes there. They also do make this clipper for the barber world too. It comes in gold, and those sizings are going to be the barber sizing for that. But anyways, so for taking this blade off, it's going to take off just like it did on the Pulse Ion, is that we're going to come up here and just push against the teeth. And this one you have to push a little bit harder, but you push against the teeth there, and you can do it in any of the sizes. Down here shows you kind of when this adjustment lever is on there. It's going to show you, if you're in your long sizes or short sizes as you move through there. But any size, you can remove it. Those two clips are going to be what hold it onto the clipper. So now we're going to take a look at the blade here, and with the blade, much simpler design. If you're familiar with the wall Arco blades or Bravura blades, this is going to be very similar to that. And so it has a Torx 8 bit here, is what's going to take these off. And so we're going to go ahead and take out those two screws, and then we'll get into the anatomy of this clipper. Alrighty, we got our screws out, and once we do that, this top comb blade should just come right off. That's what it looks like on the other side there. And so just like the Pulse Ion, you have an adjustment lever, and then the cutter is also held on with those springs. We didn't take the springs off first, just because this one works a lot better. So just go ahead and take it apart, more like a regular detachable blade that we would be more familiar with. Here's that adjustment lever, and then to take that off, you can either pry the springs out of there, or a lot of times I just kind of bend it away. And on this one, we get the cutter that comes off, and the comb, or this yoke piece, it's called the yoke, does come off as well, like that. And so it has the two holes that the springs go into, just like the other pieces that we have. None of the wall Arco and Bravura blades are compatible with these pieces, so if you need to replace any, it is going to be you're going to be out of luck for now. Andis doesn't have these parts and components available yet, because it's a newer design. They're still waiting to see how that's going to, what parts are going to need to be available, or if any of them are going to need to be available. So for putting this back together, if you want, you can go ahead and put the yoke here on the spring. The yoke has a little tongue piece to it, and that tongue goes right into that square slot in the middle there, and then you just push them together there on the sides. So the tongue ends up coming down right here, and then those two sides snap in there. Then we'll take and put one of the springs into that hole there. Can't really see it from if I do it that angle. There you go. So that spring is going into that hole. You just kind of push it on there and work it in there. And then we have to line up the other one so I can move the spring or the cutter where I need to move it to get that spring to line up. And then once it's in there, you just got to push it until it's all the way down in there. Now everything's back together. We're going to lay the lever down in the spot, and this lever has there's a hole on one side of it here and a post on the other side, and that post is going to correspond with a hole down in there. That's where you get the clicking and the adjustability. And then we will lay the comb back on top and line up the screw holes, and then we're going to put our screws back in. Alright, so we got our screws back in, and then we're just like on our other blades, we want to make sure that our adjustment lever is working, and then make sure that on our shortest setting that you can see this gap between the comb and the cutter teeth there, so that we know that we have a safe blade. So much easier to put back together than on the other blade for the pulse ion, but and so we like that. And otherwise, it's a really good design that we're pretty familiar with. To put it back on the clipper, we just put that tongue down there in the bottom into that slot, and then it just snaps right in like that. One thing that is nice about this clipper, if you have a investment that you already have made on blades, whether it be wall or Andis, this clipper can take both of them, and so that is a nice feature. It does not, however, take the pulse ion blades, so it has to be either the wall pulse Li or the Andis pulse Li 5 blades, or the wall Arco and Bravura blades. Those would work on this clipper. So it's a clipper I would recommend giving a try. Comes in at a decent price point, worth checking out. Thank you for listening. If you guys have enjoyed this video, please give us thumbs up or leave a comment in the comment section there about what other questions you have or anything that we can do to help with videos in the future. Thanks.